Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
You'll know Florida codes and all that kind of stuff. I am interested in replacing my front doors. And a couple months ago, before I was replacing my front doors, I was admiring my girlfriend's house where her front doors have the big, like a 36-inch pull on them and some kind of like roller latch in the door. So she just has to push on the handles to open and close the door and then bolt it to lock it.
Sure.
Do you carry those? Are we good to do that with code here in Florida?
Well,
and do they work?
Yes to the former, but in terms of the latter, what code do you need to be compliant with?
Oh, I don't know anything about codes. That's why I'm asking you. I thought the time I do this, somebody will say, oh, we can't do that here in Florida, Jody. That's hurricane codes or something. I'm like, there's a bolt lock. That's what holds the door shut, right, and pins at the top and bottom of the French doors. So it's not a code issue at all?
Well, assuming that what was originally installed was code compliant, and we are assuming that it was, it may not have been, any change to that assembly would render it not necessarily still code compliant.
So my doors are just in the shop right now. They haven't cut anything, but they're replacing the whole door and the frame inset. So I'm assuming they're doing that all per code.
Well, yeah, so now we've got a couple of assumptions stacked. I would contact them and say, hey, what code are you building those doors to? Because if they're like, oh, no, we're not doing any code on these, well, then it simplifies our conversation. Having said that, long pull handles, roller latches, and deadbolts are all the rage and have been for a couple of years for sure, and that's a very common thing for us to sell.
See, common for you guys down there. Up here in Melbourne, they are looking at me like I have two heads when I ask them about these roller latches. So
well,
what the market is.
Where it's really common is on the West Coast. I mean, of California. Out in California is where you really see that stuff. Really huge doors, pull handles. Minnesota. I mean, you name a state, I've sent someone this configuration. It's just a more modern, clean look. What you have to decide is you've got a pull handle. Is that on both sides? Yes or no? You've got a roller latch that will keep the door in the closed position, and depending on the size and weight of the door, some people put two. Moving forward to the lock, you have either access from the outside to come in like a key, and then on the inside you have a thumb turn or a key. So you have to decide all of those components, and then we can neatly package something together for you. In terms of pull handles, there are so many choices. You'll say, my God, that's too many choices. You'll have exactly what you want. In terms of a roller latch, not much to say about that. In terms of a lock, there's some discussion there. You're doing it at a point where you could also incorporate access control as well if you want to be able to do any of that electrically, air quotes, buzz someone in kind of stuff. So the slate is still somewhat blank for you. So I think the first question is, because you're right, code will govern everything that the direction our conversation will go in. Call the door people and say, what Florida listing number are you building that compliant to? And if they give you the whole homina routine, then it may not be a problem, or maybe it is. So you have to decide that. Now, having said all that, I can sell you everything, and I can sell you a deadbolt that's windstorm rated. So everything I would give you would meet the requirements. But if you're not sure of what they're doing, there's no reason to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's no reason to substantially limit yourself in terms of what we can do for a lock set, because many locks are not windstorm rated.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that has nothing to do with security. They just haven't been tested.
Gotcha.
Your grandfather's good old-fashioned deadbolt that no one could ever kick in, it's not windstorm rated. But it'll keep the door closed.
Gotcha.
Because they just didn't test it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you kind of walk me through this, Rich, and just help me? I'm assuming you have marine-grade handles and stuff as well? You carry those?
Well, yeah. I mean, the handles, some of it can be done when you say marine grade, can you expand on what you mean by that?
Sure, and maybe I don't need it. Maybe you'll tell me I don't need it. You're down in Naples. We live up here in Melbourne. I'm a quarter of a mile back from the ocean, and I'm on the river, and we're replacing our door hardware constantly. And we thought on the front door, we thought we would just upgrade so we weren't looking at deteriorating finishes constantly. We thought we would just get a 316 or a upgraded hardware, so we weren't doing that. But maybe you have something that you'll tell me the finish lasts, and I don't even have to just have that conversation.
Yeah, no, you've used an industry term, so I wanted to interrogate your understanding of it. So you said 316. Some of the stuff that can be manufactured can be done out of 316. Otherwise, it would be 304, which is good, not great for your application in 10 years. You could also do a lot of that stuff on a brass or a bronze-based material, which won't rust either. Obviously, it won't. But then you're going to be getting away from your chrome-type color. But the good news is some of it can be done in 316. If it was me and I love the design that I could do in 316, I would absolutely opt for 316. Having said that, the lock won't be 316. Much of the roller latch, the exposed part of the roller latch will be brass, even though it'll have whatever finish you want over it. But the steel, the springs, the pin, that's all still going to be steel-based. So, that's a $30 piece of hardware. You're not concerned about that. So I can definitely steer you towards 316 pull handles, although it will substantially reduce the options.
Okay. All right. I'm following you. Do you have on your website, how would I search that? I was trying and I didn't.
Yeah. So I'm going to walk you through it. In the search box, top center, type in the word or the name Rockwood, ROCKWOOD.
Okay, I'm there.
Click on the very first item on the right side that says Buy Now.
Okay.
Now, when that page loads, look on the right side. There's a map of the United States.
Right.
Immediately to the left, click where it says More from Rockwood.
Okay.
That's going to take every bit of 10, 15 seconds to load. Let me know when it does load.
Okay.
We even saw SpaceX send up that rocket maybe 3 weeks ago. We even saw it down here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It was pretty cool. Like 30 seconds after it launched, I mean, it's like, oh, we should have been out here 20 seconds ago. So it was pretty cool. And my dad lives in Flagler Beach, maybe a good hour, just an hour or something north of you. And so my point is that I know I'm 300 miles from him. So to Melbourne, I've got to be, I don't know, 215 miles. So.
Okay. It's loaded. I'm sorry. Yeah, we've had launch after launch after launch recently. I mean, we're sometimes 3 a week. It's been amazing. We just had one yesterday.
Yeah, I was trying to watch for that, but I put the NASA channel on yesterday, but didn't catch it. Okay, so and I'm waiting for my page to load of that, but there's probably going to be a video there. To the left of that and below, there will be a column of links. Right. Okay, I'm there now. Look to the second from the bottom. It'll say Rockwood 2018. Oh, I'm sorry, the third one. Rockwood 2018 architectural door pulls.
Gotcha.
So once you fire up that 116 pages, now you're like, oh, there's lots of options. So what you want to do is get an idea and then email what you think, and I'll let you know if the base is available in 316. And if not, 304 is not going to be the end of the world. It's, it just isn't. Will everything corrode and rust in our environment? Yes, eventually. However, if I sold 1,000, if I sold 10,000 of these poles, one of them is in 316. So, they do make them available, but not in a lot of stuff. And you might find something that's so beautiful, you'll say, I don't care if it's made out of bubble gum.
Well, and you know, this is how I feel about it, is we were just looking for a really simple, I don't know what to call it, just a simple pull, an oval or, handle that attached to the door, and, nothing incredibly decorative. We just wanted it to be solid and not pit and look like everything else does. We've done Baldwin and MTech and everything else around here. And sorry, we're undergoing construction here. So just looking for, like I said, something that just real simple, clean, and so I don't know if there's a way to search this on any of these where I can look and see which is available in the 316, because in my head, I don't think I'm going to be extremely particular about it.
There isn't, because that data is published elsewhere. But if you say, here are 3 things that I like, I'll look at that additional resource and then try to come back to you and say, okay, this can be done in 316. And I don't have that resource at my fingertips.
Okay. So want me to look through that and pick out a few, call you back, and you can probably steer me. And you were saying probably do 2 roller latches.
Possibly.
You usually
How
put
big
those
is your door?
on the top. There's the French doors, and they're 36 each, the doors.
How tall are they?
There's 78. We've got an 8-foot ceiling.
Okay. How are you going to secure the inactive door?
The inactive door, I thought those were generally pins on the French, on the upper and lower.
Right. Okay, so flush bolts. So I understand that, and we can supply those to you as well as either windstorm rated or just standard material. So that's no problem. I understand. I forgot you had said that.
Okay. I don't know if I did or not, but okay. So yeah, the inactive door would have, you're calling them flush bolts, the ones that go up into the top of the frame and down into the floor or whatever.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Then, we'll look for long handles and then a security bolt. And you put roller latches then on the active door. You put 2 of those in. You put them up at the top generally?
No, I think in your application I would use 1.
Okay.
Because the door is just a standard size. There is something else I'd like to show you regarding your lock. Okay, so would you please click in the bottom of any page that you're on, scroll down to the bottom of any page, and to the right of center, look for a word called manufacturers.
Yes.
Please click on that.
Okay.
And then you're going to look for a company called Accurate Lock and Hardware. It's alphabetical. 47. It's about the 30th link, and it may be, depending on your monitor size, it might be right near the bottom. So there are 2 Accurate. Okay, click Accurate Lock and Hardware.
Okay.
And then right underneath the 2 videos that are there, click the top link, Hardware Product Catalog, and let that fire up.
Sorry, it's loading slowly here.
It's a large document.
I'm not on your page yet. Okay, so underneath the 2 videos, you said to click on what? I'm sorry?
It's called Accurate Lock and Hardware Product Catalog.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then when that loads, and it will take a second or 2.
Okay.
What I want you to do is to navigate to the 16th page of the document, and it'll be page number 5-7.
I went too far. Okay. I'm there.
So this is 9,000, 9,100 roller latch locks?
Yes.
Okay. So that super cool little doodad is what all the cool kids use when they're doing what you're doing, because it incorporates both a roller latch and your bolting function.
That. And the bolt right in one. Okay.
Yeah. The downside of it is it will be noticeably more expensive than two items that will be less costly. The upside is that it's a substantially robust locking system because it is a mortise lock. Then onto that, you would figure out what you were doing for key access on one or both sides. Now, be mindful. You'd obviously need something on the inside to lock and unlock the door, but this, you're going to need some handle or something on the inside to actually control the door. So those pull handles that you'll look at, they may be a set of back-to-back pull handles, is how you probably want that on both sides. But that deadbolt there is pretty common. Now, having said that, in your mind's eye, think about where that lock is installed on the door and where the keyhole would be and where you would mount. Exactly. Yeah. So when you're looking at the poles, think of offset poles, because that's one reason that offset poles are there. Or say to yourself, well, I've got to kick that over a couple, 3 inches so my key between my index finger and my thumb can rotate. So, and every time I walk through the mall with my wife, I notice all of the doors to the shops that, they use the wrong pull handles. That person must have a hard time locking and unlocking the door. So keep in mind that as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is I should either use an offset pull, and I understand what that is, or move my pull over. They can mount that anywhere inside the door, really, basically, right? But make sure I move it over far enough where I can turn my key without hitting my hand on the rail.
Yeah, the style is what that one's called. And but depending on, did you say that your doors were French doors?
They are.
And French doors meaning it's a pair of doors, but they have glass in them?
They do not have glass in them. There are side lights on each side of them, but the door itself is solid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got room. I mean, offset to me, I would prefer to move it over a little bit and keep it straight. Offset are nice, but it looks too commercial for me.
Yep, I like the idea what you're saying of just making sure I move that over a little bit so we have room to get to the lock, and insetting the handle from the interior, the midline of the door frame or whatever that's called, and offsetting the handles in farther. Yes. Okay. Very good. Got that. I'm with you here. Thank you for bringing that up, though.
And actually, the page that I meant to navigate you to in Accurate's book was the 20th page, 5-11. That's the lock that you ought to be looking at.
5-11.
Yeah, just 4 pages down.
5-11, and that's the 9000M and 9100M. Okay. And can you just, so that I'm not getting scared when I'm doing all of this, money's going out the windows, how much am I looking at for, these mortise locks that you're pointing to me right now?
Let's take a look.
Okay. One room turned into 3 from leaks, and I can't get the replacement windows because of COVID, and what's happening with window manufacturing is everybody's 6 to 8 weeks out, and it's this is just all unexpected.
Yeah, no doubt. I've got a client over in Palm Beach, just south of the Breakers Hotel, and she's getting clobbered with water intrusion and can't get material quick enough.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what's happening here.
There it is. Okay, so that marine grade lock is really expensive. That's several hundreds of dollars. You'd be at $1,000 once you added a cylinder and thumb turn to it.
Wow.
So the non-marine grade is roller latch or double roller latch lock. That's about a $400 lock. The integrated deadbolt and roller latch.
Okay, that's more manageable, right? That's
now, having said that, you can just do what you initially thought. Separate roller latch, figure that's $30. Put in a super killer deadbolt, figure that's $150.
Yeah, I'm okay with the $400 to put that all in one. If you think this is a good mechanism, it seems
it's
clean to me. And the roller latch is right in there, but do you still put one You don't have to put one up at the top of the door then? You just use this?
No. Yeah, your
Okay.
door. If your door was 4 foot by 9 foot, you'd need a couple of them, or exceptionally thick or exceptionally heavy. One is all you need for your door.
Okay. No, mine's not any big fancy door at all. Just a new one, just a new door, and I want to just make it look nice. Okay, so I use that 9100, and that gives me my lock. I just need to figure out, like you said, what to put on for the lock, which you would want to hand do on the inside, key on the outside. So I see that's the 9124RL.
Depending on the backstep, but yes, you are looking at the 24 function.
Okay. And then I only need to look for handles and then call you back with the ones that I'm interested in. And you can steer me to ones that would have maybe the 316 grade.
Absolutely.
Is that right? Okay. Is that where I'm at, Rich? So I will.
Yes.
I've got these numbers for the roller latch and lock, and I will look for a handle. And then once I call you back, how long does it take you usually to get to ship to me?
About 2 weeks on the stuff we've talked about.
And is there any way to expedite that?
No, there's two answers to that question. One's the truth and the other's not.
Yep, nope, I appreciate the truth. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So I didn't know if you had anything in stock that could be ready for ship, or if everything has to come from somewhere else. It sounds like. Yeah.
Well, the Rockwood and Accurate, that's all made to order, made per order. There might be some pole handles that would be available from stock. We stock a lot of ladder poles, but they are just depending on what you select. I will look to those options as well, but they are just the common pole handles that you'd see on aluminum storefront doors.
So not anything that's going to be a good finish, or is that what I hear you saying?
Well, I mean, it'll be type 304. It'll be just one diameter and then stock lengths, and then it would be, certainly nothing that would give you, of that 116 pages, you might find a pole that you're like, no, that's it, that's the one. And all they're going to have ladder poles that we stock will be the typical round, flat ends, straight, set sizes in terms of overall length and center to center.
Okay, and I'm not at the point where I can even think about like custom and lots of fancy bling, and my house is not a fancy bling, it's just a nice house. Yeah. So the ladder poles, as you're calling them, might be what we do, and you said you have 304, which is really good, not great, but really good, you said. So we might end up doing that. And you carry those, you said, in stock in your building or your business where we could ship out right away?
In stock, yes. They're not kept here. They're generally kept in the Midwest or East Coast and definitely the West Coast. So it would just be a matter of shipping. But your door supplier wouldn't be held up by that at all. He needs to get the door installed before you'd need that pole handle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought we had to
drill a couple of holes and you're done.
Right. I thought we had to do like with this roller latch. That part has to go to him before he comes to install, though, right? That's usually done in the...
that Accurate, if you go Accurate, that's going to be 2 weeks. There's no way to do anything about that. If you say, well, I don't have 2 weeks, then we're going to come up with a good quality heavy-duty deadbolt for you and then a roller latch. And both of those line items are in stock, ready to ship at any time.
Okay. I didn't mention to you that in my construction, somehow my old front doors that were fully functional, the pin got broken on the inactive door. So now we're screwing and taping the door to keep it closed in the process here of our construction. It's a little security issue. Fortunately, I'm in a safe area, but I'm cringing at the sight of my front door. But, it's a couple more weeks while we're into construction. Not a big deal. I guess I need to probably look at it that way.
Well, email me photographs of what's broken, and I can probably send you, you can probably order a replacement bolt so that you can maintain some security over the inactive door.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's gonna, said we're replacing the door. We can just put a screw up in the thing to hold it shut right now.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
You know, we're replacing the door. So the doors are sitting in the shop over there, and you know, we're gonna put a new door in. So I can't even, I have 12 different projects going on. I can't even focus on that one. But I'll scroll through the other pages you told me about, locate a door, a pole. I'll get off the phone and think about the roller latch and if we want to wait or not on that. And then I'll give you a call back.
Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you for all of your help. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Rick.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.